Hello everyone, my name is Marina and today I will tell you all about my Fade Névé sweater by Andrea Mowry, and this will be a finished object spotlight. So I started working on this sweater in August and I finished it just a few days before the new year finished. The 2020 finished, and I'm pretty happy with this result. I blocked it and it is still a bit puckering here, I don't know why. Here you can see where I changed the colors, and the yarn that I used is my own hand-dyed Strawberry Patches yarns, and I had 1, 2, and 3 and 4 colors that I used in this sweater. This is a top-down sweater with starting at the yoke, which is kind of nice because you don't have to come back here and finish the neckline. And as you knit, you increase and you make these bubbles all over. I really loved the colors and the sweater that Andrea Mowry is wearing in her original pattern pictures, and I think I got the results as pleasing. And the only thing is that when I was knitting this, I got fed up with these bubbles. There are so many of them, and then you need a crochet hook to make them, although I have to say that Andrea Mowry has made a very decent and clear video tutorial about how to make these bubbles, and they're not hard. It's just that there's too many of them. And by the end, like when I was knitting the sleeves, I was like, oh my god, when is it gonna finish? So I faded the colors as I wanted because I had 4 colors and they were all different meterage, and they were just basically my indie dyed samples kind of material, and I just wanted to use them up. So I faded them just when I decided that it's time. I think it was 1 by 1. Oh, by the way, this sweater is knitted from inside, so you are knitting and not purling all the sweater, and that makes it so much easier because I cannot imagine making a whole sweater in purls. But since it is knitted up, it was pretty easy. You only have to remember to carry your yarn when you change the color on the right side for when you're knitting in the round, which will be the inside of the sweater. I knitted this size 2, and I think it fits very well. I was aiming for not too much of a positive ease, and as you can see, there is still lots of room here and here. I have to say that it's not a pattern or a sweater that I'm 100% satisfied with because of these reasons. First of all, too many bubbles. Second of all, I know that Andrea Mowry always, in her patterns, the arms are very close fitted, and my arms are not as thin as hers. So when I was knitting this sleeve, I followed the pattern and I kind of knew that it would stretch, but when I tried it on after I finished, it was too tight, and that put me off of knitting this sweater for a long time because I was thinking, oh, maybe I should rip it off and start again. And the same happened with the other sweater that I was knitting by her, the Comfort Fade cardigan. I had to reknit the sleeves many times and I was really frustrated. So anyways, this was in a little bit of a knotty pile for a while, and then I decided just to do the increases not as rapidly, and this sleeve is different, but I don't think you can see the difference. It's just that I can feel that this is a much better fitting one. And a note to self that I should have taken into consideration that this is a superwash merino and it stretches, and in fact it stretched so much that if I do this, I become this really green monster with really long arms, which is if I was going somewhere where it was cold, which is not here in New Zealand, I would probably like it because I can have like this fingerless mitts situation going on. But here in New Zealand, I think it's something that I could have avoided, and it would have been less knitting for me if I had taken into consideration the fact that it stretches quite a lot, which is fine here because it's stretched to a nice, this is my belly button, so it's stretched quite nicely. I like this part, the hem. I don't really know how I could have avoided this part where I changed the colors. And if you have a tip for me, I would love to hear it. And what else did I want to say? On the whole, I think it's a nice sweater for someone who likes textured sweaters, and like cables would have been much harder, I think, to make. But with the baubles, you have the texture, and it's really, they're very easy. The hardest part is just that there's too many of them, and the row with baubles, it takes forever because each bauble, I think, is like 7 strands on the needle at one point, but it's really easy. Really happy with the colors, and I think they suit me. And yeah, if you are going to make this sweater, I think you will like it as well. Just be mindful of the yarn that you're using if it's superwash, and also of the sizing. I think I did a swatch, so my sizing is fine. That's all I wanted to say. Thanks for watching. Bye.